Hello and welcome to the Red Devils report. Joined here by my co-host Greg. How are you doing, buddy?
What's happening, homie?
Nothing much. No Darren for this match reaction here to the Spurs game.
Darren's out
celebrating.
drowning his celebrations.
Yeah, he's out celebrating. He went out prior. He was either going to be drowning sorrows or celebrating.
And he is out, is he?
I don't know. I just assume he is.
Lucky prick.
Yeah. Obviously, win, lose or draw, we're all United till we die anyway. But here on the Red Devils report, it's a good first week. Although when we saw that team sheet, I don't think any of us were expecting much.
Furious.
We said we wanted to see some changes, but
no, I will give it up to one of the lads I work with, Tom. He actually called it. He says if Varane's back, it'll be a back five.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what we wanted to see when we said we wanted changes. We didn't want 5 defensive players and then the 2 holding midfielders as well.
No. Well, like the way they set that up, it wasn't 2 holding midfielders. It was one in front of the other one, which actually worked out quite well.
Yeah, Fred was going forward quite a bit more, which is something that he wanted. So, like, if that's the way he wants to play it, it's not a bad formation.
Like for Shakhtar, he was decent going forward.
Yeah, like if that's the formation he wants to go with, it's not a bad formation either. It's just why did it take this long to do it?
Well, it's kind of like a 3-3-1-1-2 kind of thing, isn't it? 3-3-6-1-1 is 8, 2 is 10 and 1 to go. Yeah.
But why did it take this long? Like, why not do this last week?
I think he was forced into this one. He knew he had to do something because if he went out with that donkey formation again, and just the one change that we knew Varane could be back. Now apparently Varane was fit for last week, which kind of makes it more weird that he didn't play him.
Was he fit or was he just no longer injured? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the report that I read said that he was fit last week, but again, it's not a game you really want to come back into either if you're haven't played in 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, this isn't. I wasn't happy when I seen this team sheet go up, but this has happened in the past where I haven't thought much of a team sheet and then it goes out and a comfortable win. Usually that's Spurs.
Usually that happens to me when I give out about a team sheet.
Yeah, whether that's Spurs not playing well or us playing well, probably a combination of both here, to be honest.
Definitely both. We definitely looked a lot more comfortable. Varane made a big difference in the back 4 or the back 3, whatever you want to call it, back 5. You could tell he was the one that was leading people. Now, there was one thing I seen very early in this was when Maguire stepped into a tackle after about 3 or 4 minutes, you could see him barking at, it was either McTominay or Fred, telling him to come into the position to stand when they had a throw, as if to block up space. So you could see him barking orders to people where they were meant to be.
Yeah, he seemed to take more control here this time now. Yeah. He was watching out for more. I think Varane at that centre-back position is just, it can't be overlooked how important he was because
he was man of the match. I know Ronaldo got it, but
a lot of what he was doing was covering the 2 boys. Like there was quite a few times where they were just nowhere to be seen and Varane was there or he was stepping forward into the likes of Lo Celso or whatever to make sure that the shot wasn't easy. And that's what you need to be doing. You can't be letting somebody shoot from outside the box if you're not stepping towards them and closing that gap. And that's what Varane was doing.
Like he got a couple of blocks in, went for corners and things. He was immense today. To me, he was the man of the match for me. I know Spurs didn't offer much going forward.
I actually think for me, I think actually Bruno might have been man of the match. I think Bruno had a really good game here.
He was another dog. He was back to his dogged self again, wasn't he?
Yeah, well,
somehow didn't get booked.
Yeah, there was a throw in that Spurs had at one point. Kane threw it in, and all 3 centre backs had switched off.
It was the quick throw, yeah.
Yeah, and thankfully Bruno was there to clean that up. And then for the second goal, obviously he wins the ball back.
Yeah, I don't watch him, man. Skip was that.
Yeah, I know, but like Bruno wins it back, and it happens again a couple of minutes later, and we don't get a goal from it. But he's directly involved in both of those goals.
This is what Darren was saying yesterday. Seeing him drop a little bit deeper,
giving him a bit more freedom.
Yeah, because it's not him trying to stay up with Ronaldo. Ronaldo and Cavani got a lot of space today because the 2 of them were there.
Yeah, I think having two strikers up there was. We said before the game that this is something that we thought should have been done the previous week.
Yeah.
And it just shows how important, like having those 2 up there. Yes, you lose a a bit of speed from not having the likes of Greenwood or Rashford up there, but their intelligence and their movement off the ball, like, is
But
just something else.
You look at it as well, though. The press starts from the front with Cavani.
It does, but it doesn't really with Ronaldo. But it's just the
idea.
That's
the idea of having Cavani there. He was the presser.
Yeah, but it's just their movement off the ball and like their understanding of where they should be. Yeah. Even for that first goal, this first goal is something else. Like,
the pass was brilliant. The build up to it, the pass and play. Now, I did think originally it was either Shaw or Maguire came back from an offside position and got the ball, and I was like, please don't score from this. Please don't score from this.
No, Cavani is definitely the one who won the ball back.
No, but at one stage, when he moved it, recycled it back and back, and then it went out and around.
You can't go back that far, though.
Oh, you do, yeah. It goes back up until the last break in play. So, like, if Spurs won the ball back in the middle of that, it wouldn't have counted.
Yeah.
But it'll go back as long as you have possession.
Spurs did win the ball back. Cavani tackles it off someone in their box. Like, a Spurs player touches it before he knocks it back, so it wouldn't matter. They've had control of the ball since then.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that, but
it's a beautifully weighted pass into that back post, and
Ronaldo doing special things again.
Well, even managing to stay onside because he makes that little movement back to pull himself back onside.
The double movement there was brilliant. I'm just going to step here, and then he's gone.
Yeah, and then the finish itself is just sublime.
Like the video where you see his face just watching the ball the whole way, even when it was right on the edge of his foot, he never took his eyes off it.
Yeah, it's a sublime finish, and this is even if he doesn't score this,
it's a tap-in.
You know, the ball is just going to be knocked back to Cavani, and if you have the likes of Greenwood or Rashford going to be on that back post when that ball gets hit? I don't think so. This is the experience of someone like Cavani and Ronaldo.
Well, the ball is coming back. You don't score that many goals.
Yeah, but you know the ball is coming across the goalkeeper, so it's going to come back one or two ways. So you need to be there, and that's the experience that those two boys have, and that's why they get these tap-in goals.
Yeah, like you don't score that many goals, whether it be Ronaldo or Cavani, without knowing where to be or what to expect.
Yeah, now I'm glad this went in because this is a spectacular goal. This will probably be the goal of the month for United. For United anyway. I can't see anything beating that.
I think there was one for the women's because they put them all in together now.
Do they?
That might, the under 23s, the women's and the men's are all in the one golden one for the club anyway.
Oh, fair enough. I thought they still had them separated, but
no. Everything goes into one now.
It's a fantastic goal, and then the second goal is there's Ronaldo's second goal, which is offside, and he's well off when he scores this, but the finish is something else as well. The strike of it just powers it into the back of the net.
Now, I do think, the strike was hard and it was true, but I don't think Lloris tried to even save it though.
Possibly not, but that's more fool on him because you play the whistle.
We've seen that happen to us. Remember when they brought that rule in first for VAR?
Yeah.
When Aubameyang done it in the whole United bar, De Gea stopped.
Yeah.
And Aubameyang chipped it in. It was a good 2 yards onside. You're like, why would you stop there? Do you know what I mean?
But this is the thing. You have to just play that whistle. I know the linesmen have been instructed to keep the flag down until there's a break in play or to let it play out, see what happens. And sometimes it's very obvious that like Ronaldo is very clearly offside, but you still have to let it go. And if you're the goalkeeper, you don't stop. Like you need to make sure you make that save, whether it needs to be made or not.
Yeah, some of it was long when it didn't need to be.
Yeah, but it's to let the play go out, and I think you could even see it when Ronaldo began to celebrate it. You could see he knew he was offside as well. Like,
he knew he was offside before he hit the ball.
He was barely finished, like after hitting it, before he was kind of looking back and going, I don't think that one's going to count, boys.
Yeah, sometimes but like this is what I said in the group chat is because I don't even like celebrating a goal anymore because.
Nah, I'd still celebrate them all, but like sometimes, like when you're watching, like I was watching that and I knew I was like, Ronaldo's offside. That's not going to count. 100% he was offside, and the same for the Spurs goal that was disallowed. I was like, he's offside, and the commentator saying, "Well, this is going to be a close one." It wasn't close at all. He was
a good yard offside, yeah,
well offside, like. But the second goal was something else. The ball being won back by Bruno, and then.
Yeah, I'm not sure. As I said to you there just before we came on, I'm not sure what Skip was at.
I think he just lost concentration.
Yeah, Bruno done really well to nip in, and then the control.
The Cruyff turn from Ronaldo, just leaving him. You know.
He just said, he might as well have sent him into the front row there and just go sit down, mate. You're done.
He did. He sent them off the pitch. Go on, get out of here. You're done.
And then the pass, even the way of the pass
and the finish. I think Lloris goes down a little bit too early here. But I suppose you kind of have to as well, because if you don't, I don't think it would have mattered.
I don't think it would have mattered. He had to make a choice whether to stay up and either throw himself at the ball, in which case I think Cavani just taps it around him. Yeah. Because of the angle of the run he had to kind of commit early.
Yeah, he had to make a guess, and he guesses wrong. But it's another fantastic finish.
No, I wouldn't mind. The chip was probably only about a foot off the ground.
Oh yeah, he just lifts it over him. But like, that's the experience as well. You don't need to lift it too high. Just get it over.
It was a great finish, right? But the thing I find here is there won't be much made of that goal, right? But if Messi does it,
no, I don't think even if Messi does that goal, it's not going to be that big a deal. I think that goal will get the appreciation it deserves more for the Cruyff term, because that's what makes it. It
does, yeah, because that gives him the space. But like the finish, like when you see Messi do it, Messi does it more than I've seen anyone ever do it. Is just lift it over the goalkeeper, and he always gets a lot of appreciation.
Yeah, but he's normally beaten like 4 players to go and do it. I don't think it's as simple as, oh well, if Messi had scored that goal. That goal was something you expect.
Yeah,
I mean, it's something you expect a guy at Cavani's level to be putting away.
Yeah, think over the goalkeeper was.
Yeah, and then the third goal, Rashford. The correct subs were made here, and I'd said just before we scored that second, I was like, subs need to be made here. We're starting to lose the rag here.
I don't think the correct sub was made in taking Bruno off with Fred on a yellow card, especially considering he was making tackles. Now, to be fair to him, he was brilliant today. Well, maybe not brilliant, but he was very good today. The one thing he did get booked for, he made sure he made one foul and then makes a second one.
Yeah, no, I think he did.
But we've seen that in the past.
The second substitution's a mistake, but I think this first substitution have gone, listen, we've gotten 2 goals. We're quite comfortable here.
Yeah.
Get 100%. Ronaldo off the pitch here and bring on a Rashford here. Let him have a little run out.
Yeah, I think that's a great sub. I'm kind of wishing he had taken Cavani off.
Yeah.
Obviously seeing him pull his hamstring is...
I don't know if it's his hamstring. I think it's just...
Well, he points to his hamstring.
Well, when he first gets hit, he's holding his upper thigh, so I'm not really sure which it is, but
well, whichever, it's an injury now.
It seems to be a slight injury, but it should be okay, I'm hoping. And then obviously I think Matic for Bruno's kind of a questionable sub, but
that to me there was hold what we have,
sort of
a little bit, which I didn't like, but. To be fair, Fred was playing well. McTominay was playing well. They were driving. They overran that midfield today.
Yeah, I think if Cavani doesn't get injured and you make the sub of Lingard for Bruno and you make the sub of Matic for Fred. Nobody questions those subs. I think Cavani getting injured does change what the plan was.
Oh, the plan was definitely not to take Cavani off.
No, I think Fred was the one coming off. I think he realized like, I need to get this guy off. I think he'd already kind of he'd probably already made the decision that taking Bruno off for Matic. And then Fred he kind of looked at Fred and was like, I think I need to get that lad off as well now.
It's worse because you could see him when the sub was made. You could see, was it Maguire or Varane? One of them were talking to him.
Telling
them, they were like, stop tackling.
Yeah, just don't get sent off here. Don't get sent off.
But now don't get me wrong, none of the tackles were bad. They were just like he gave away one free kick after he got booked, I think. Yeah,
I mean, you still have to tackle even if you're on a yellow card. You just need to be more careful about the ones you do make. Don't be dragging out of people or don't be giving a reason, basically. Make a tackle. Just don't make it a big one. Don't make one that's a 50-50. Just make sure that they're easy tackles.
I just don't think he's capable of that. We've seen that against PSG that time.
Yeah, we have.
Now, there's been a few other games when he gets booked early, I'm just like, take him off.
Yeah, you're too quick to want him to come off. You could get booked in the first minute and you're like, take him off. You're like, no,
I don't want him to start. They don't have to take him off.
It doesn't matter. Like, you can't just sub everyone that gets a yellow card. Do you know what I mean? Like, otherwise we'd have had to sub Shaw and Maguire as well.
Yeah, and those 2 yellow cards came within a minute of each other and they were fucking stupid. Shaw was on his way down and he decides to grab his legs. Like, why would you bother, Shaw? Like, just let him run.
No,
There's two others there.
No, you see what the problem is that you can see Shaw after he gets the yellow, he gets up and he's straight into Maguire's face because Maguire hasn't stepped forward to that man. When Shaw was going down, Maguire had let that man step forward to collect that ball, and Maguire should have been on him.
Yeah, so that's the part of playing in the tree. You have to
be willing to make that step forward. But
now, to be fair to him, he did it 90% of the time today. I know it's going to be 10% of the time when you get caught.
Yeah, he did, but does Shaw get that yellow if he doesn't?
I thought Shaw was kind of unlucky not to get a free kick himself in the build up to that.
Possibly,
he goes by the man, he gets tripped.
Yeah,
because originally it looked like he got tripped and he fell into him, but obviously you see him reach out and.
Yeah, possibly, but at the same point you have to play the whistle, and he's
100%.
He has to look at his centre back, one of his three centre backs, and go, "Why aren't you stepping out onto this man to make sure that I don't need to commit this foul?"
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of those that we have in the team now. There's fouls being made because someone's not doing what they're supposed to. Now, bearing in mind, they said, what did they say today? It's been 49 games. It's the first game out of lockdown. Was the last time we played that formation.
Yeah.
So you give them what? Sunday, say Tuesday. They probably went back to training and they've had 3 days probably of playing it. Now, you're a professional footballer, you should be able to follow the instructions. But it doesn't mean it always works. So maybe that's going to be the formation going forward.
It could be
in what's left of Solskjaer's reign.
It could be, but I mean, you should still know to step forward and
Yeah. Like there is going to be those things.
Not give that man the freedom. But the third goal from Rashford here. Rashford made about 8 runs before this ball gets played to him. I was fuming looking at him. I said it to you. Somebody put the ball into him for God's sake.
I said it to you. I was saying it in the group chat when you said that. I was like, there's one he made just before that when they decided to go backwards. And then obviously the ball came through. But like when he made that run across Dyer, he was well in.
Yeah.
Well, for some reason or another, Dyer didn't step across with him. He just let him go. That's what gave him the space.
There was about 8 runs before the ball actually finally got played to him. And I was like, thank God it finally got played to him. I was like, I really hope he's not offside for this one. And thankfully he's not.
It was a great little bend of the run coming back, and
the player on the far right, it keeps him on, and it's a tidy finish. Yeah, it's a tidy finish.
He had a poor game.
Yeah, I don't think any Spurs player had a particularly great game. Kane was non-existent by
he's
that throw-in.
If I was Nuno now, I'd be looking at not even playing him now.
No, bar that throw-in, he wasn't there. Lucas Moura got hooked a bit early. I don't really understand
He was probably him and
Son.
Him and Son were probably the best two.
Son made 1 or 2 very, very good runs, and I was like, we're going to be in trouble here. Scored. He should have definitely hit the target at the very least. He should have put his left foot.
Why he took it down lovely with his left foot? Why not put your foot through it?
Yeah, but even after that, he still made a couple of runs in behind the defense. I was like, somebody get on him.
It's still always coming down that left hand side. It's Shaw and Maguire's side.
Yeah, and I was just like, somebody needs to make sure he's stopped, like, because he's gonna do damage if you keep letting him do it. Outside of that, he was quiet. Kane was non-existent.
I'd say he might get the worst rating of the Spurs team.
Possibly. I thought their right back actually had a decent enough game. Going forward at very least.
Emerson, the lad who got off Barcelona.
Yeah, I thought he had a decent enough game. Now, to be fair to him, he's probably their best player, I think.
Yeah, well, I would have said either Son. Lucas, I thought had a decent game. Like none of the attackers had a really good game.
Lucas didn't get much time. He got hooked quite early. Don't really understand why, but
Son, well, the fans didn't like it either, did they?
No, but Bergwijn's not a bad player. He hasn't done much in this league, but
they wanted Son and Kane up top to try and cause a bit of problems, but
it probably should have been somebody else coming on or coming off, so Bergwijn could come on. Like they wanted a more attacking. Like it was only 1-0 at that stage.
They needed a goal at that stage. You know what I mean? And they knew United they could sit in there and hope that we held on. You know what I mean?
And eventually we did. Like De Gea had no work to do.
No. What was the one that came close was probably the one Son's one, and then the shot they had that went over the bar.
Son's one that was off target and the shot over the bar. Other than that, there was no work.
The disallowed goal, but like he was a mile offside.
It was a mile offside, and the only other work that he could have possibly had was blocked by Wan-Bissaka, but Son was offside anyway.
Yeah, but that was. I'll tell you what, I give that man a lot of shit for his positioning, but that was great defensive cover.
Yeah,
because the 3 centre backs were long gone.
They were, yeah. None of them were anywhere to be seen, and he did his job. And this is what I was saying: you need to cover, play the whistle. It doesn't matter if Son's offside. Make sure that he doesn't get that shot off, and that's what happened.
Like, the thing I don't like about that playing, all right, you know he's a mile offside, right? And you let him play on. But like, imagine Wan-Bissaka tears his hamstring or something there, making that block that didn't need to be made.
Yeah, but he could have torn it somewhere else either, you know.
Oh no, no, I'm just saying hypothetically, like in that instance, like there's part and parcel of it. Great, what, 20% to 30% of the time you're gonna get a legitimate goal ruled out.
Yeah, but I think that one was tight enough that I think it was okay.
Yeah, yeah.
There is other ones where, like Ronaldo's one, I think, yeah, you probably should be calling that.
Yeah. What was the other one? There was another one they let. Was it Lucas run in behind, and they let him run, and then they were like, he puts the flag up about half an hour later, like.
Yeah, there is certain ones, and like it's not just this game. We see it in quite a few games where sometimes I feel, yeah, you should probably be calling that off a bit earlier. But at the same time, then if you get it wrong and they should have scored,
yeah, you're gonna be dropped for the next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know it's harsh.
Yeah,
it's harsh.
And they're dealing with it. Like, they've been told to let it play until it comes to a conclusion, so that's what they do. But yes, Spurs did not look great here at all.
Dire, they were.
We looked.
No,
I thought we
pun
looked
intended.
I think we looked quite good here. I think we looked more like a team rather than individuals here. There was a lot of very nice passing and
the work rate from the three, Bruno, McTominay, and Fred. And like, I know Fred gets a lot of stick.
I thought he had a very good game.
Darren said it there when obviously he was over at the match last week. He said Fred was probably our best player. I turned the match off last week.
I don't know if Fred was our best player this week, but I think he had a very good game this week.
Oh no, not he wasn't our best player this week, but he was good again. Like,
he was very good again this week. I thought McTominay was a little bit suspect. There's quite a few times where the ball went to him, and it seemed to like just get stuck. Not even just, it gets stuck in his feet quite a lot, and then he'd lose it, and then he'd have to win it back. I think other than that, he had a good game. His positioning, his breaking up of play was good, but
his driving forward, like, what I like to see here was when McTominay decided to go, you could see Fred step back, where normally you'd see the two of them kind of ordering around. Like,
no, you are right. They both decided, like, one of us will go, the other will stay, and it did.
I think Ollie must have said that to them. If one goes, one stays. Whether it was Ollie, Carrick, Ronaldo, Cavani, whoever, someone has said it to them, and they're starting to
catch on to it a bit.
I say they're starting to. Well, they one game now. We go out against Atlanta on Wednesday now. Watch and get fucking torched.
But this was the kind of, not just the result, but the performance we needed, where it looked like the team were playing as a unit. Bruno was up and down covering. Cavani was pressing hard. Ronaldo was working very hard as well.
What did he come off? 78 minutes. He's 34 years of age. Centre forward, and he was back defending left back when he got injured. Like,
yeah, I don't think Ronaldo was coming back all that much, but you could see there was a more work rate being done by him. Like, there was a lot more off the ball. He
definitely covered a lot more ground than he has.
Yeah, I think the team have started to, they've realised, like,
we have to work now.
Ole one way or the other, whether he's going to be the manager or not, we still have to perform on that pitch. And last week was embarrassing.
Is it sometimes the better the devil you know than the devil you don't?
Possibly. I think it was just, I'd say they probably went back and watched the tape of that game last week, losing 5-0 to Liverpool, and it was just, all of them were looking at it going, yeah, individually, I was pretty pathetic there.
Yeah.
And I'd say they all went out with a bit of a point to prove here. Overall, I think everyone had quite a good game. I don't think I could really fault anyone in that game. De Gea, you can't really judge De Gea at all. He didn't do anything.
Six would probably be the lowest, and that would be De Gea, surely, because
he didn't have to do it. Yeah, he just kind of sat around, did nothing.
Now, within that, you'd probably give him a 6 because he had 2 passes out that went straight to Spurs players.
Yeah, his passing's never been great.
Nothing major. No damage done. Maguire good. Shaw good. Varane brilliant. Lindelof solid. Wan-Bissaka was very good, I thought.
Yeah, I think everyone had quite a good game. This is probably the best game I've seen from Fred, and it seems to have been that they've made the decision that either I go or you go, and as he said, like, somebody's told them one of yous go, and and it seems to have worked out. And it's meant there's a lot less running done by both of them, which means when they do need to go running, they haven't wasted the energy running up and down.
Within saying that, the two lads seem to run all day. Like
they do, but like you shouldn't be running all day. Like if you
there's
can't,
running
no
to
point
be
running
safe, and then there's running like a headless chicken.
There's no point in running up and down all the time if you're not getting the ball when you go forward and you're not there when you need to be there when you're back. Like pick one or the other and split it between you. But a great result anyway for our first show. Hopefully they continue on.
Yeah, we'll be back during the week.
Back during the week for the Atalanta game, and then back next week for the City game. Hopefully we can continue this run of form. But until then, look,